The nation hitting the pause button this morning as sporting events, concerts, and even movie premieres are put on hold. And the First Coast is certainly not immune to the coronavirus's impacts.
The Players' Championship now completely called off. We are expecting to learn more from the PGA late this morning, but we're already hearing from you. Your thoughts on the move just ahead.
And as COVID-19 spreads, Clay County and Duval now have their first confirmed cases. We'll have the latest on those and what you need to know to keep yourself and your family safe.
Let's keep calm, wash our hands, and we'll have everything you need to know before you start your weekend. This is Good Morning Jacksonville. So this morning, we are following the spread of coronavirus, COVID-19, of course, in the Jacksonville area. So we know as you're waking up, there is now a case in Duval County, an 83-year-old man. This was confirmed by the health department last night. They don't know yet if this is a travel-related case or not.
That's right. That's the first case in Duval and the first case in Clay, a 57-year-old man there. We also have an additional case in Alachua. That patient just 24 years old. Health officials can't yet say the cause of the first two just yet, but this case in Alachua is travel related. We want to make that clear. And big news out of Ponte Vedra as the PGA decides to cancel the Players' Championship entirely. Now, they'll be holding a press conference later on this morning at 8 as there are still lots of unanswered questions. And we know there are a lot of things developing very quickly, but just take a deep breath, folks. Let's do it together. We're going to get through this. We have no choice. We have to. Now, Good Morning Jacksonville right now starts. I'm Keitha Nelson. We want to let you know, remind you folks, it is Friday. The weekend is here.
That's right. And I'm Katie Jeffries. Thank you for waking up with us on Good Morning Jacksonville and for trusting us to be your source of information through all of this. So we've got all of the cancellations, all of the changes going on, because we know there's still a lot of different things going on.
Yeah.
We have our megaphone, firstcoastnews.com/vote. You can let us know how you're going to be spending your weekend. Last check, a lot of people said they were going to kind of treat it like normal.
Plain and
like
simple.
a normal weekend.
Yeah. Well, you should, because the weather is pretty nice. For more on that, we want to check in with your storm expert meteorologist, Mike Prangley. Mike, things are looking pretty good in the world of weather.
They are looking outstanding, Keitha. So our big event, I know I'm kind of like a fish out of water. We don't have any big events officially, but yes, we do. You remember where we live. Yeah, we love calling this home because we've got the beaches, the St. Johns River, and it's green light go, and we've got a tranquil weekend all the way through Sunday. 52 to the west side right now. No fog issues to worry about. 60 at Michaelers Beach, and yes, you've got great beach weather on the way. We look at those temperatures outside. Low 60s for most of us, but some cooler spots. Mid 50s for Lake City and Keystone. Let's look at today. We've got 88 degrees for that high. Southwest winds pumping up the heat, and a beautiful sunrise to enjoy at 7:35. That sea breeze will kick in after 2 o'clock, so even the beaches will reach the lower 80s as a result. We take a look at that big 3-day forecast, and it does it shows those mid to upper 80s, and our hottest day would be Sunday ahead of our next front. We'll time that out coming up, but first we've got Alex doing an outstanding job as well in that 5-star Credit Union Traffic Center.
Mike is that one friend that you need to always support you, right? Well, all right, so it is 6:30, and we're taking a look at the roadways because if you're heading out the door, hit that pause button because we want to take a look at the Fuller Warren Bridge right here. As you can see, things are moving nice and smooth. Now, here are some of your drive times. If you're heading from St. Johns County to downtown, things are looking really smooth. 6 and 9 minutes. That's great. Now, next up, we have Baldwin. Further west to downtown Jacksonville, again, 10 minutes and 5 minutes, also looking good there too. And one last one, if you're heading from the beaches, that's looking good as well. 15 minutes each. If anything else comes up, I'm going to be sure to bring it to you.
So nationally, we're seeing a lot of sports leagues suspending play. We were all pretty surprised to see that the Players suspended entirely. We heard this news last night, but a lot of new developments keep on pouring in. We have Renata DiGregorio. She's standing by live right now in the information center. A lot to go over this morning. Again, it just seems to be happening left and right, new information. What are you learning?
Yeah, Keitha, there seems to be a lot of new information pouring in, and it's just been changing by the hour all week. This has been happening. And so the decision to cancel the tournament, it was apparently made after consulting with both the president and the governor, the PGA commissioner, doing that. And this is not the only thing getting canceled. All of the PGA Tour events are all the way up to the Valero Texas Open, which was set to start April 2nd. So let's talk about refunds. We had questions pour into our newsroom about this. You might want to take a picture of this on your screen. You'll be automatically refunded for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if you have GA Stadium passes or Captain's Club tickets. If you didn't go on Thursday because of coronavirus concerns, you can get a refund too, but you have to submit a request by April 15th. So what about where you got your ticket? If you got it through Ticketmaster, theplayers.com, the PGA Tour app, or on the phone, you'll automatically get a refund in 7 to 10 days. You're going to want to look out for that. So if you bought it through a third-party site, though, the PGA Tour says to reach out to that agency. As for parking passes, you have to go through the Park Mobile and call them. You can find that number on the story on firstcoastnews.com. And so many people are going to be getting those refunds. 200,000 people were expected to come here based on past attendance. That usually has a really big economic impact. The tournament reportedly brings in more than $100 million for our area. Of course, without it, that money isn't coming here. And we've talked to people who traveled from all over for this. They say they're incredibly disappointed. That's something you look forward to for a really long time. But with so many events all over the country getting canceled, some fans say they also understand.
We pulled up to my sister's house. She came out, she said, the tournament will not be open to the public on Friday or Saturday. Put your shorts on, we're headed to the tournament now. I just think everybody has to do what they feel like they need to do. And if the PGA decides this is what they want to do, I mean, we're good with it. We got to do what's in the best interest of everybody.
So, Katie, this is what we're seeing right now. We're expecting to get some more information at 8 a.m. at another news conference.
And we'll be carrying that live on NBC 12 and ABC 25. Thank you so much, Renata. Now, someone else I want to introduce you to. You don't see her very often, but she is all of our digital, helping out our digital in the morning. So, Casey Fine, now you've been compiling a list here of different closures. What all is closed at this point? What are the questions that you're seeing?
Yeah, so we actually have some really interesting stuff going on our online component. So I'll let you guys take a look. So right now we actually have a Facebook group. It's called Facts Not Fear, Your Coronavirus Questions Answered. So you can get in that group, you can ask questions, you can post tips. Anything that you see that's closed, you can kind of give us a quick heads up in that Facebook group. And you can find that by going to the First Coast News Facebook page, click groups, and just add yourself into the Coronavirus Facts Not Fear Facebook group. I'll just show you something else. We have a zip whip. So you can text us if you see any closures around your area or if you want to know closures in your area. Send us a quick text. Number is 904-633-8808 and text us the word closure. And we'll send you a list of all of our closures on the First Coast, around the First Coast, and we'll get you taken care of. Katie?
Perfect. Thank you so much. So Casey's out here answering your questions, gathering that information, and sending it out to make sure you guys are all up to date. So make sure you send that zip whip in. Closures 904-633-8808. And we're going to do our best to keep you as updated as possible. Keitha.
I committed to you last week that if and when we get a positive diagnosis, we will share it with you so the people of Duval County know.
You just heard there from Jacksonville's Mayor Lenny Curry. He's addressing the latest on the coronavirus concerns, saying that the city has been preparing since January, and when the first case in Duval arrives, he'll let us know. But that is not how things happen. Like many of you, the mayor found out from the news, and that is not sitting well with him. Now, he posted a tweet online at about 11:10 last night saying that the Florida Department of Health never shared that information with him and his team, and there needs to be more transparency. So he goes on to say that more decisions are coming today and that he's speaking with local health care professionals at this point. Now, some good news from that press conference. 4 Jacksonville Fire and Rescue members have been cleared to return to work this morning. This is after self-quarantining themselves when they learned that they may have come in contact with a person who had COVID-19 at a conference in Tampa. And also on Thursday, Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis, he was in Miami asking residents to avoid large gatherings and crowds as much as possible. He's asking everyone to be proactive about preventing the spread and that doing so will help to keep the effect of the virus in the state at a minimum. That's what we're all aiming for.
Let's hit the fast lane now, get you out the door with some of your other top headlines of the morning. So the Defense Department says they've carried out several airstrikes in Iraq. On Thursday, at least 5 sites were targeted, all housing Iranian-backed militia groups. It comes one day after 2 U.S. troops were killed in a rocket attack. The Pentagon says these strikes were, quote, defensive, proportional, and in direct response to the threat posed by militia groups. New court filings claim that the wife of a Navy lieutenant charged with conspiracy, is suffering from a medical crisis that is being ignored while she's in custody. So Yang Yang and her husband Fan Yang were arrested in October following a raid at their San Jose home. Now, Lieutenant Fan Yang was born in China but became a U.S. citizen in 2006. They're accused of illegally selling guns to non-citizens.
A quick location change that will impact voters at the poll. Precinct 607, which is in Augustine Landing, that's on Old St. Augustine Road, will no longer be available as a polling location. Instead, voters assigned to this precinct, 607, will now vote at the Mandarin Regional Library, that's on Quarry Road. This change is only for the presidential primaries. That is Tuesday, March 17th.
All right, time is about 6:40. So we hear the term self-quarantine a lot. It's thrown around a lot, but can some people really afford to miss a day of work? I mean, some would argue that they can't.
Yeah, Brooks Baptiste, he has the buzz on some money-saving tips that we'll all want to learn about this morning.
Hey, great morning to you, ladies. Yeah, we have to talk about this as the coronavirus leaves the economy struggling and all of us really wondering what to do to protect our finances. Wallet Hub has a list of tips for keeping your wallet safe. So here's the buzz. If you find yourself sidelined by the virus and you're strapped for cash, you need to talk to your bank. Capital One recommends taking advantage of online banking to avoid person-to-person contact. And if you are going to miss payments or maybe you need an additional line of credit, reach out to your bank to discuss those options. Plus, right now is a really good time to focus on building your emergency savings. And Amazon is continuing to fight for you so that you don't have to pay those outrageous prices on products that are in such high demand. The retailer has started restricting certain third-party sellers from selling health and sanitation products. Now, that's such as things like face masks, hand sanitizer, and disinfecting wipes. Amazon has been removing millions of products in the recent weeks for making false coronavirus claims. Also, the company is banning thousands of sellers who jack up the prices to try to capitalize on the surge in demand.
Loyal, brave, and true. It is my duty.
All right, so Disney's live-action Mulan, the movie you see right there, that was set to hit theaters later this month, but due to the coronavirus, the movie release date has been postponed. So far, F9, A Quiet Place, the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die, and Slay the Dragon are just a couple of the movies who now have some later release dates. Most films are rescheduling to mitigate the risk of contracting COVID-19 in movie theaters and other large gatherings. Katie?
So a lot of people have concerns about the spread of coronavirus, and we understand that's fair to be concerned.
Yeah, but we want to make sure that information that you're hearing is accurate. Our Verified team is working hard to let you know how to keep you and your family safe. You're watching Good Morning Jacksonville on this Friday morning. It's now 45 minutes past the hour on this Friday morning and tracking the latest on the coronavirus. So at this hour, an 83-year-old man in Duval County and a 57-year-old man in Clay County both have tested positive for COVID-19. Now, this brings the total confirmed cases on the First Coast to five people. The Players Championship has been canceled. An update is expected at 8 this morning, and we're going to air that live for you in both NBC 12 and ABC 25. Disney World, Universal Studios will both shut down operations starting Sunday night. And as it stands right now, Duval County Public Schools will resume normal operations on Monday. If that changes, we'll be sure to let you know.
Now, weather with your First Coast News storm experts, sponsored by AC Designs.
Wow, yes, this is our postcard pick weather pattern, and it's going to continue throughout the entire weekend. So we'll just call this God's grace. Yes, thank you, Rhonda, for sending this in our Facebook page. First Coast Weather Watchers, 7:35 on that sunrise. And as we look at today, checklist that includes plenty of positives: sunscreen, shorts, sunglasses, and some outdoor time for sure. Now, the sunscreen we need because the UV index is 8 in the very high range, the highest I've seen all year long. Sunburn time in as little as 25 minutes. We take a look at our big event this weekend, enjoying nature, right? So Alpine Groves Park, we've got some kayakers out there. It's nice to take some selfies on the St. John's there, and we've got temperatures Friday, Saturday, and Sunday holding in the middle to upper 80s because our main front is staying even farther to the north with the latest information in this morning. So as a result, we'll keep that southwest wind going into Sunday, including for areas of Camden and Glenn County. So the forecast has even gotten brighter for southeast Georgia, with this front not making headway to the south until at least Monday into Tuesday. And that'll be our next chance and best chance of rain. So we go from mid to upper 80s this weekend. 30% chance of a few showers, especially in Georgia on Monday, 78. And then our best chance of rain will green things some up there with Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing in that rain with highs back in the mid 70s. Now let's get to Alex in the Five-Star Credit Union Traffic Center.
Thanks, Mike. I can't wait to use that beach that I love so much. That's why I moved from a snowy place, okay? So we got to get through our work day first before we can enjoy the weekend and that beautiful forecast. This is a look at I-10 at 295. Things are moving along really well. As you see, much more cars are on the road. That means a lot of you are heading out the door going to work. Now, we've had a few accidents throughout the morning, and here's a new one that just came up on I-10 eastbound at 295 westbound. No roadblock there, so not much in the sense of delays, which is a good thing. Now, if we head further west, we have a crash, another crash that we mentioned earlier at 295 at Normandy Boulevard. No lanes are blocked, but we do have a shoulder block. So keep that in mind if you're heading in either of those directions. Make sure you plan for a little bit extra time and to be cautious.
So we have received plenty of calls and emails with your concerns about how the coronavirus can spread. And one question that keeps coming up is, can the virus be passed through money, through cash? So Jason Puckett, he joins us this morning to answer that question in our latest Verify segment.
As the coronavirus keeps spreading, we're getting a lot of questions about how it spreads on surfaces. Can it spread on money, from our pets, our phones? Well, turns out the answer is yes to all of them. Our sources are the CDC, the WHO, and a few medical studies. The quick answer here is that the coronavirus can survive, at least briefly, on almost any surface. Fur, paper, metal, glass, all included. The WHO estimates it can survive for a few hours up to several days, but that depends on a lot of factors like temperature, humidity, and what kind of surface it is. They're also using past coronaviruses for comparison. In 2003, for instance, SARS was found to survive up to 96 hours on glass surfaces. That same study found SARS on paper after 36 hours and plastic and stainless steel after 72 hours. But here's the thing. The virus just being on a surface doesn't get you sick. It has to get into your respiratory system. These articles and stories are drawing our attention to specific surfaces, but the reality is we should just be aware of all surfaces. Whether it's your phone, money, a railing, or a pet, the virus spreads the same way. Someone with the virus coughs or sneezes, those droplets carry the virus wherever they land. Luckily, the prevention techniques are the same no matter the surface. Wash your hands regularly and avoid touching your face. If you take those precautions, there's no reason to be more concerned about one surface over another. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
All right, folks, it's now 50 minutes past the hour on this Friday morning. Yes, it's Friday. The weekend is finally here. So what is your weather looking at like? Your storm expert meteorologist, Mike Prangley, he's going to have your forecast just ahead. Plus, what's happening on the roadways, all of the latest headlines that you'll need to know before you head out on this Friday morning. You're watching Good Morning Jacksonville. Hey, welcome back. It's now 6:52. It's time for your GMJ on the go, and we continue to monitor the spread of the coronavirus and the effects you can expect right here locally.
So let's first look at the very latest when it comes to confirmed cases. So by the numbers, we have 5 cases of coronavirus on the First Coast. As of this morning, there are 35 cases in Florida, 31 in Georgia, and nationally we are now seeing over 1,600 cases.
So Thursday evening, the PGA said that the Players' Championship would continue just without fans, but late last night, they announced that the entire tournament would be canceled. So if you head to firstcoastnews.com, you can learn more about how you can get a refund and any parking or event tickets as well. And later this morning, we're going to expect to learn more from the PGA on their decision. We're going to be streaming that for you live. It's going to be a press conference at 8 this morning in just about an hour. Well, a long list of other sporting events suspended. Now, the NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and MLS all taking a break indefinitely as officials monitor the spread of COVID-19. March Madness, like the players, has been canceled altogether.
And we know there's a lot of concerned parents this morning. Locally, schools are seeing the impact of coronavirus as well. Some private schools have announced they're extending spring break. But as of right now, Duval County Public Schools will resume normal operations on Monday. Now, we have reached out to DCPS now that we do have one confirmed case here in Duval County. We're waiting to hear back from them. Now, the St. Johns County School District tells us students are expected to return to class after next week's spring break. However, Flagler College did cancel classes today and joins UNF, FSU, and the University of Florida in moving to online classes after spring break.
Now, we know a lot of you are paying close attention to this. Financial hits continue. Wall Street had one of its worst days since the late 80s on Thursday, when for a second time this week, trading halted for 15 minutes. It closed down more than 2,300 points, which was 10% of the stock market's value. That trend could continue this morning.
And breaking overnight, an American Airlines pilot based in Dallas-Fort Worth has tested positive for the coronavirus. The airline did not release any additional information about the pilot or any flights that person may have piloted recently. They said that the HIPAA laws would not allow them to provide any of those details. American Airlines said in a statement that, quote, "We are in close contact with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and public health officials are coordinating with them all on required health and safety measures," end quote.
All right, many of you still have a lot of plans this weekend. Let's check in with Mike for your forecast.
And they're looking wonderful. Get outside. That's what it's all about this weekend. We've got postcard pick weather Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mid to upper 80s. Next chance of rain will hold off until middle of next week. So the Salt Life forecast, big thing, you'll need sunscreen with that high of 82. Alex Livingston?
A pretty cool morning, nice and smooth, but we are just getting word of a hit-and-run crash over on Bowden Road at I-95. No roadblocks there, but we definitely hope everybody's okay.
And part of our commitment to being on your side is trying to answer your questions about COVID-19. So every weeknight, around 5:30, our evening newscast, we're going to be bringing in an expert.
So right now, a lot of you are asking, what is the best way to prevent the spread of the coronavirus? And you can send your questions into this. Just text this number, 904-633-8808, and get those directly answered by an expert. Do it tonight at 5:30.
We also had a megaphone question going about what people are going to be doing this weekend. Because we know with cancellations, plans change. Looks like the majority say they're going to try and treat it like a normal weekend.
64% say they're treating things as a normal weekend. You have 15% saying that they're going to go out but be cautious. And another 15% say, hey, I'm not taking any chances. I'm staying inside. What do you say, Mike?
Live your life and get outside.
Please wash your hands.
We'll see you in 30 minutes, folks. Be safe.